Your quarters could be worth way more than face value. From Washington quarters with rare mint marks to state quarters with famous errors like the Wisconsin extra leaf, collectors are paying hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Don't spend that quarter too fast. It might be a hidden treasure in your pocket. The 1990 United States Washington quarter is one of those coins that most people have seen and spent countless times without giving it a second thought. It was used for parking meters, vending machines, bus rides, laundromats, and everyday purchases. To most Americans, it was just 25 cents, nothing special at all. But for collectors, the 1990 Washington quarter is far more interesting than it appears on the surface. This coin sits at the crossroads of tradition and change in U.S. coinage history, and while billions of them were produced, certain examples, especially those in pristine condition or struck with rare minting errors, have become valuable collectibles. At major auctions, these coins have shocked even seasoned collectors by fetching prices as high as $48,000 to $130,000, an almost unbelievable figure for what most people would dismiss as pocket change. To understand why the 1990 quarter has significance, you first need to look at its design and history. The Washington quarter had been in circulation since 1932, introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. John Flanagan's portrait of Washington on the obverse had become an enduring national symbol. By 1990, the design had been in place for nearly 6 decades, and it was a familiar sight in every American's daily life. On the obverse, Washington's bust faces left, with the inscriptions "Liberty" above, "In God We Trust" to the left, and the date 1990 at the bottom. Just to the right of the ribbon in Washington's hair is the mint mark, either a P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco on proof coins. The reverse design, used since 1932, featured a majestic heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below. The inscriptions "United States of America," arc across the top, "E Pluribus Unum" sits just above the eagle, and "Quarter Dollar" is displayed prominently at the bottom. It's a classic, bold design that endured until the 50-state quarters program began in 1999. That makes the 1990 quarter part of the last decade of the original eagle reverse, a piece of coinage tradition that collectors value as the end of an era. Now, when it comes to numbers, the 1990 quarter was produced in staggering quantities. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 613 million quarters, and the Denver Mint struck over 927 million, bringing the total mintage to well over 1.5 billion coins. That means the vast majority of 1990 quarters are extremely common and worth only face value. Yet even among billions of coins, rarity reveals itself in 2 powerful ways: condition and error. Condition is everything in numismatics. Most quarters from 1990 circulated heavily, picking up scratches, dings, and dull surfaces. But the rare survivors that remain in pristine mint state condition are the ones collectors chase. Coins graded MS-67 or MS-68 by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC can command thousands of dollars because so few exist at that level. A coin that looks ordinary to the untrained eye may, under magnification and professional grading, be nearly flawless, and those nearly flawless examples have sold for 4 and even 5 figures at auction. But where things become truly exciting is with mint errors. In 1990, just like in other years, errors slipped past the mint's quality control and into circulation. These mistakes create coins that are not only rare but also visually dramatic, making them irresistible to collectors. One of the most fascinating error types is the off-center strike, where the blank planchet was not aligned correctly, leaving part of the design missing and an empty crescent-shaped space on the coin. Depending on how far off-center the strike is and whether the date remains visible, these coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Another thrilling variety is the double strike, where the coin is struck more than once, leaving overlapping images that look like ghostly echoes of the design. These coins are often one-of-a-kind, and dramatic examples can bring in thousands at auction. Broad strikes, where the retaining collar fails and the coin spreads out wider than normal, are another sought-after error. And then there are wrong planchet errors, some of the most valuable of all. Imagine a 1990 quarter struck on a nickel or penny blank. Because these coins are both rare and visually striking, they can easily bring thousands of dollars. Collectors also look for proof coins struck at the San Francisco Mint in 1990. Proofs are specially made for collectors using polished dies and planchets, resulting in mirror-like fields and frosted devices. In 1990, both standard proof and silver proof quarters were struck. Perfect examples graded PR70 Deep Cameo are scarce and can sell for several $100s or more, especially when certified by top grading companies. Auction history has proven the incredible potential of the 1990 quarter. Some pristine mint state examples graded MS68 have sold for over $10,000, and rare error coins have crossed the auction block for even more. A dramatic off-center error or double-struck example can bring $20,000 or higher, depending on rarity and condition. At the very top end, the rarest and most spectacular coins have realized prices between $48,000 and $130,000 at major auctions. These eye-popping figures keep collectors searching through rolls of quarters, hoping to discover one of these hidden treasures. Beyond rarity and value, the 1990 quarter carries historical weight. It represents one of the final years of the original Eagle reverse design before the sweeping changes of the state quarters program. It embodies the period when billions of coins were struck to fuel an expanding economy. Yet still, remarkable rarities slipped into circulation. And it serves as a reminder that no coin is too ordinary to overlook. For everyday people, it might be hard to believe that a 1990 quarter could ever be worth more than a car, a year of college tuition, or even a small house. But that's the magic of coin collecting. The thrill lies in the possibility that something extraordinary could be hiding in plain sight, nestled in a roll of coins from the bank, tucked into a jar at home, or passed over at a flea market. The difference between an ordinary coin and a life-changing discovery often comes down to condition, rarity, and the eye of someone who knows what to look for. So the next time you handle a quarter dated 1990, don't dismiss it as just another piece of small change. Look closely at its surfaces. Examine the strike, check for errors, and consider its overall preservation. You never know if you might be holding a coin that appears completely ordinary yet carries a story and a value that could astonish you. The 1990 Washington quarter is proof that even the most familiar coins can hide extraordinary secrets, waiting for the right collector to uncover them. The 2019 United States War in the Pacific Quarter Dollar is one of the most visually striking and historically meaningful coins in the entire America the Beautiful series. A program that ran from 2010 through 2021 and highlighted national parks, historic sites, and culturally significant locations across the 50 states and U.S. territories. On the surface, it is just a 25-cent piece, a coin we use every day for small purchases and change. But this particular quarter tells a story of courage, sacrifice, and victory during one of the most decisive chapters of World War II. While billions of quarters are minted each year, the 2019 war in the Pacific Quarter carries with it not only powerful symbolism but also a hidden world of collector value, minting errors, and pristine high-grade examples that can make certain coins worth far more than 25 cents. The design of the coin is what immediately captures attention. The obverse of the quarter, as with all America the Beautiful coins, features the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan and first introduced in 1932. Washington faces left, with United States of America arching above, Liberty to the left, In God We Trust to the right, and the denomination quarter dollar at the bottom. The date, mint mark, and initials of the designer and engraver appear just below Washington's portrait. It is the reverse, however, that makes this quarter a tribute to history. The 2019 war in the Pacific Quarter depicts American troops storming the beach at Guam during the Pacific Campaign of World War II. The design shows two soldiers moving forward under fire, crouched low with weapons at the ready, while another soldier clutches his rifle and crawls through the sand. In the background are palm trees and a rising horizon, symbolizing the tropical setting and the harsh reality of battle. This image is both dramatic and solemn, a reminder of the sacrifices made by American soldiers in the liberation of Guam in 1944, one of the most intense battles of the Pacific theater. The inscriptions War in the Pacific, Guam, 2019, and E Pluribus Unum encircle the design, grounding it firmly in both historical memory and the America the Beautiful series. From a technical perspective, the 2019 quarter follows the standard specifications: a copper-nickel clad composition of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, weighing 5.67 grams with a diameter of 24.26 millimeters and a reeded edge. The mints at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco all struck versions of the coin, with Philadelphia and Denver producing circulation strikes, while San Francisco struck both clad and silver proofs for collectors as with many modern coins. Sheer mintage numbers are massive, but within those billions lie the rare gems. The Philadelphia mint struck over 114 million war in the Pacific quarters, while Denver produced more than 142 million. San Francisco, by contrast, struck smaller numbers of proofs, with a few million clad and silver proof examples distributed in collector sets. With such huge mintages, most of these coins are destined to circulate for decades, gradually becoming worn and ordinary. Yet collectors seek out those that survive in high mint state grades or those that display unusual errors. Error coins from this series are especially interesting to numismatists. Off-center strikes, double die obverse or reverses, die cracks, and even wrong planchet errors have been reported for the war in the Pacific quarters. For example, a coin struck slightly off-center with the design shifted can easily fetch $100 to $300 depending on severity and visibility of the date and mint mark. Double die errors, where lettering or design elements appear doubled due to misalignment during striking, are also highly sought after. A strong double die on the inscriptions or soldier details could bring hundreds of dollars. Wrong planchet errors, where a quarter design is struck on a dime or nickel blank, can reach into the thousands at auction because of their rarity and visual appeal. High-grade coins are another area where value skyrockets. While most circulation quarters quickly acquire nicks, scratches, and dullness, a small fraction remain pristine, either saved directly from mint rolls or preserved in collector sets. Professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC award mint state designations ranging from MS-60 to MS-70. A war in the Pacific quarter graded MS-67 or MS-68 can already command a significant premium, with some selling for over $200. Proof versions, especially in PR69 or PR70 deep cameo condition, with flawless surfaces and sharp contrasts, can sell for $100 to $250, depending on demand and population. The silver proof versions, made with 90% silver, carry intrinsic bullion value as well as collector demand, often pushing their prices higher. Auction records show how remarkable some of these coins can be. In certain cases, war in the Pacific era quarters have brought in several $100s, while top-graded mint state and proof examples have reached into the same range. Collectors especially prize coins with dramatic off-center strikes or wrong planchet errors because they combine the historic appeal of the design with the rarity of a minting mistake. Some of the best-preserved silver-proof coins in PR70 have also achieved impressive hammer prices at major auctions. But beyond the numbers and the dollars, this coin carries enormous symbolic weight. It tells the story of a pivotal moment in U.S. military history when American forces fought against overwhelming odds in the Pacific Islands, securing strategic victories that would ultimately lead to the end of the war. For the people of Guam, the coin is not just currency but a reminder of liberation, resilience, and sacrifice. For collectors, it represents a blending of artistry, history, and value that makes modern quarters far more than pocket change. The war in the Pacific Quarter is also part of a broader narrative, the America the Beautiful program, which connected Americans to the landscapes, stories, and sacrifices that shaped the nation. Released in 2019 as one of 5 designs that year, it stood out immediately for its intensity and emotional depth. While other quarters in the series celebrate national parks or scenic beauty, this one focused on human courage and the harsh reality of war, making it resonate deeply with veterans, families, and historians. For anyone holding one of these coins today, it is worth a second look. Does it gleam with the luster of an uncirculated mint state strike? Does it reveal unusual spacing, doubling, or off-center features that might hint at an error? Or perhaps it is a proof coin, struck with mirror-like surfaces, that somehow slipped into circulation. Even among billions of coins, the rarest examples emerge, and when they do, they can command auction prices far beyond their face value. Collectors know that the thrill lies not only in the hunt but also in the story behind the coin. A 2019 quarter might seem modern and common, but in reality, it carries history in its design and opportunity in its rare varieties. Whether it's an error coin that shocks collectors with its rarity or a pristine MS-68 that dazzles with perfection, the war in the Pacific Quarter can be worth far more than a quarter. For those lucky enough to find one of these extraordinary examples, the value could reach into the hundreds or even thousands, proving once again that treasures can still be found in everyday pocket change.